Centuries ago, an extraordinary journey that went beyond human intellect and the laws of physics took place. Isra and Miraj. In mere seconds, our Prophet traveled from Mecca to Jerusalem, a distance of 1,500 kilometers, and from there ascended through the seven heavens. Since that time, this miraculous event has been questioned by many. Some denied it, claiming it contradicts the laws of physics, while others dismissed it as nothing more than a legend. But what if this extraordinary event holds secrets that can be explained through scientific and rational evidence? Could it be that our Prophet also experienced time travel during this journey? Is time travel theoretically possible according to modern science? In this video, you will discover aspects of Miraj that you have never heard before and see how new scientific theories can help us understand it more easily. If you're ready, let's begin. With your support, our video will reach every corner of the world that remains in darkness. Please like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel now. Now, before we begin explaining the rational and scientific aspects of the Miraj miracle, let us recall this sacred event and embark on our journey. Before Miraj, our Prophet ﷺ tirelessly preached Islam, yet many people refused to believe in him. During this period, he endured immense physical and emotional hardships. He remained steadfast through insults, torture, and oppression, as well as the years of social boycott. Later in Ta'if, he faced yet another severe test when he was stoned by its people. Amidst these struggles, our Prophet lost his beloved wife, Hazrat Khadija, and his uncle, who had always supported him. The accumulation of these sorrows led to that year being known as the Year of Sorrow. His loneliness and grief deepened. It was precisely during this difficult time that Allah, to soothe his messenger's heart and relieve his sorrow, granted him the Miraj. One night, suddenly, Jibril alayhi salam appeared and awakened the Prophet. He invited him on a journey that would bring peace to his heart and comfort to his soul, because the dwellers of the heavens were eagerly awaiting him. And the great miracle began. Isra, this extraordinary journey, which took place during the night, is conveyed to us in the Qur'an through Surah Isra. While the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was resting near the Kaaba, the angel Jibril came to him and called out, "O Muhammad, your Lord invites you to his presence." Then the Prophet was mounted on a white steed called Buraq. This mount was not large in size, but it was known for its extraordinary speed, able to place its hooves on the farthest point visible to the eye. Like a flash of white light, Buraq carried the Prophet to Masjid Al-Aqsa, hundreds of kilometers away, within seconds, accompanied by Jibril alayhi salam. Miracles of time within time and space within space unfolded one after another. After reaching Masjid Al-Aqsa, the Prophet began his ascent to the heavens, known as Miraj. During this ascension, he passed through 7 levels of the skies, each carrying a unique significance, and encountered different prophets at each level. In the 7 layers of the heavens, he met 7 different prophets: Isa, Yahya, Yusuf, Idris, Musa, Harun, and Ibrahim alayhimussalam. Each meeting was a divine station, a scene filled with celestial messages and an unparalleled highlight of the Prophet's journey. The ascent continued until Sidrat al-Muntaha, the ultimate boundary that no created being can pass. At this point, the angel Jibril stopped and stated that he could go no further, as attempting to do so would cause him to burn. During this extraordinary journey, our Prophet witnessed paradise and its blessings. He described the gardens of paradise, rivers of milk and honey, and the rewards granted to the righteous. He also saw hell and its torments, vividly explaining the punishments faced by sinners and wrongdoers. Now let us begin to examine the details of this unique and divine journey in the light of scientific data and rational evidence. Isra and Miraj in the light of science. Hadiths mention that the creature on which our Prophet ﷺ traveled was named Buraq. The word Buraq means great energy or light. Buraq could instantly reach the farthest point visible to its eye. Modern science tells us that traveling at incredible speeds or moving close to the speed of light requires an immense amount of energy. Einstein's theory of relativity explains that when one reaches the speed of light, time comes to a standstill. However, for physical beings like us, this is not possible. Still, when moving at very high speeds, time slows down relative to the speed. This is a scientific fact. What is fascinating is that these truths, revealed by modern science centuries later, were pointed out 1400 years ago in the Qur'an through the following verses. He arranges every matter from the heaven to the earth. Then it will ascend to him in a day, the measure of which is 1,000 years of your reckoning. Surah As-Sajdah, Ayah 5. The angels and the spirit, Jibril, ascend to him in a day, the measure of which is 50,000 years. Surah Al-Ma'arij, Ayah 4. These verses emphasize that the time of Allah and the angels is not the same as human time, highlighting that time is not an absolute concept. It can change depending on space and the state of beings. Modern science supports this reality as well. It is now scientifically accepted that time is relative and can vary based on factors such as speed and gravity. In this context, the expressions in the Qur'an provide significant indications about the relativity of time from 1400 years ago. Time travel is not merely a fantasy, it is a concept that can be grounded in scientific principles. Time is not just a flowing reality, it is a mysterious phenomenon that changes based on the state of beings and is difficult to comprehend. What is remarkable is that while we have only discovered these concepts scientifically in the last 150 years, the Qur'an informed us of this knowledge centuries ago. This once again reveals how the Qur'an is a timeless miracle. At the same time, by placing the Miraj event on a scientific basis, it allows us to understand that this miraculous journey is far deeper and more meaningful than we might have imagined. Now let us continue examining the Miraj miracle from this perspective. The possibility of time travel was scientifically proven in an experiment conducted in the 1990s. In this experiment, 2 synchronized atomic clocks were used. One clock remained on the ground, while the other was placed inside an airplane and traveled at high speed. At the end of the experiment, a difference of 1/1000th of a second was detected between the 2 clocks. This clearly demonstrated that time slows down due to the effects of speed and motion. Today, every expert in the scientific community knows that when a person moves at high speeds, time flows more slowly for them. However, this difference is so small that it is beyond human perception. In the Miraj miracle, the extraordinary speed of the Prophet's steed, Buraq, could have caused time to slow down, even if it did not stop completely. Yet, in the Miraj miracle, something far greater and more profound took place. The Qur'an states in Surah Al-A'raf, Ayah 7, "By the heaven-containing pathways, what are these pathways? What is their purpose of creation?" As understood from this verse, the heavens have complex routes that can take us to different realms, dimensions, or unknown places. This suggests that it may be possible to travel to distant points in the universe in a short amount of time. The following statement by Hazrat Ali also points to this truth. I know the paths of the heavens better than the paths of the earth. These words align with the verses of the Qur'an, drawing attention to a profound truth that transcends human comprehension. Modern science refers to such pathways as wormholes. Wormholes are theoretical shortcuts that allow travel between higher dimensions in the universe. The Qur'an hinted at these concepts 1400 years ago, a time when there were no telescopes or scientific knowledge of this kind. Today, science describes these pathways in higher dimensions as portals or gateways, enabling instantaneous travel between distant points in our three-dimensional world. If such gateways can be utilized scientifically, it would be possible to reach distant points in the universe in a very short time. The Miraj miracle can be thought of as a unique event where these divine pathways were used, demonstrating the harmony between science and faith. During the Miraj, the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, "Today a gate in the heavens was opened that had never been opened before." This statement suggests that the heavens contain unknown pathways which lead to specific gates that may connect different realms, dimensions, or perhaps even different planets. In modern science, these gates are referred to as portals, theoretical structures that could allow one to transcend the boundaries of time and space and reach new realities, the Prophet's time travel. During the Miraj, the Prophet ﷺ not only witnessed the blessings of paradise but also saw people being tormented in hellfire. This raises an important question. The day of judgment has not yet occurred, and no one has entered hell. So, how could the Prophet see people burning in hell? At this point, Miraj may not have been merely a physical ascension, but also a journey through time. The Prophet might have moved through a dimension where time expanded, enabling him to witness events from the future. Is time travel scientifically possible? Albert Einstein's general theory of relativity revealed that time can be bent by mass and energy. Massive celestial bodies, particularly black holes, warp space-time, causing time to flow at different speeds. This warping of space-time, theoretically, could create a gateway to the past or the future. Scientists refer to these structures as Einstein-Rosen bridges, or wormholes. Wormholes and traveling to different points in time wormholes not only provide shortcuts between two distant points in space, but also potentially allow travel to different points in time. Although today's science has not yet reached the level to achieve such travel, this does not mean it is theoretically impossible. Wormholes would require negative energy or exotic matter to remain stable. While these materials are theoretically possible, science has not advanced enough to harness them. However, the discovery of such gateways in the future and the possibility of time travel are not far-fetched. The Prophet's vision of hell during Miraj, when examined scientifically, suggests that he might have experienced a form of time travel. Modern physics and the theory of relativity indicate that the Miraj event does not contradict science, but could align with many modern theories. This makes the Miraj a profound and scientifically harmonious miracle, showing the unity between faith and knowledge. String theory and the multidimensional universe. According to string theory, our universe consists of 10 or more dimensions. However, these dimensions are so small that they are beyond human perception. If access to these dimensions could be achieved, it may become scientifically possible to go beyond time or reach alternative timelines. In theories that propose the non-linear nature of time, time is not seen as linear. In such a framework, the past, present, and future may exist simultaneously. However, human perception experiences time in a linear fashion. This idea could provide the foundation for creating an out-of-time portal. Time is considered the fourth dimension, and stepping out of this dimension to view it from an outside-of-time perspective is theoretically possible, even though it is beyond human experience. Black holes and transition points. Hadiths mention that the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ sought permission to pass from one heaven to another. Modern science proposes that black holes may assist in transitioning from one universe to another. Black holes are among the most mysterious structures in the universe, and some theories suggest that they might be gateways to other universes. In 2015, the renowned physicist Stephen Hawking stated during a conference that black holes could provide a pathway to another universe. According to Hawking, it might be possible to exit black holes, creating a route to transcend the boundaries of our universe. His explanations were based on the information paradox and the relationship between quantum mechanics and general relativity. In light of all this information, we can see that the Miraj miracle aligns closely with science. This divine event, which occurred 1400 years ago, parallels some of the most advanced scientific theories of our time. As science progresses, explaining the story of Miraj becomes even easier. Time may age, but the Qur'an continues to reach its golden age as humanity advances. The Miraj miracle is a unique event that encompasses both a spiritual reality and a source of scientific inspiration. It once again reveals that the Qur'an is a timeless miracle, transcending the boundaries of time and knowledge. Why did Miraj occur? After examining this great event from a scientific perspective, let us also explore why it took place. You might wonder why such an extraordinary incident was deemed necessary. In fact, the logic behind it can be understood quite easily through a simple example. Imagine a great king who wishes to select one soldier from his army and provide him with special training. The king's goal is to elevate this soldier to a level where he becomes the greatest commander ever and leads the entire army. What would the king do to achieve this? Naturally, he would start by giving the soldier foundational training step by step. The king would then show him the workings of every level in detail, guiding him through all the higher ranks, explaining the knowledge and operations of each. For the soldier to fulfill his role as the supreme commander and surpass all others, he must have complete knowledge of all aspects of the army. Only after personally witnessing and understanding every process would he be fit to assume the role of chief commander. Similarly, the mission of our Prophet ﷺ in this world is to be a teacher to all of humanity. His role is not an ordinary one. He was sent as the greatest teacher for all people until the day of judgment. All prophets before him foretold his arrival. For instance, Hazrat Isa, Jesus ﷺ, told his disciples, "It is for your benefit that I go, for if I do not go, the Comforter will not come to you." And he spoke of the arrival of the leader of the worlds. Thus, just like the commander in the example, the greatest teacher who would guide all people arrived on earth. Through the Miraj, Allah educated the Prophet about the deepest secrets of the universe and creation. Therefore, the Miraj was profoundly logical and filled with wisdom. Consider this. If someone were to teach you about Mars, would you rather listen to someone who has set foot on Mars or to an ordinary person? Who would you find more convincing? Of course, the first, right? Similarly, our Prophet ﷺ witnessed nearly everything mentioned in the Qur'an firsthand. Paradise, hell, the seven heavens, and the manifestations of Allah's names in different forms. He saw them all and conveyed them to us in detail. At its core, the knowledge brought by the Prophet teaches us that nothing in this universe was created in vain. From the smallest grain of sand to the vast galaxies, everything has a purpose. He taught us about the existence of angels that fill the universe and explained that creation is not a random coincidence. Moreover, he informed us that there is more to existence than just the material world. Beyond this world, there are realities such as the realm of examples, alam al-mithal, the realm of the barrier, barzakh, the hereafter, paradise, and hell. To teach humanity the most comprehensive knowledge about creation, Allah took the Prophet through the 7 heavens, allowing him to witness each layer of the heavens firsthand. In each heaven, Allah taught the Prophet the unique manifestations of his names and attributes. When we look at this, we realize there has never been a greater mission given to any human being. Of course, the answer to the question, was such a long journey necessary, is a resounding yes. It was both necessary and filled with profound wisdom. The rational and logical explanation of Miraj. Now let us delve into the rational and logical aspects of the Miraj. At this point, some may object by saying, all right, it makes sense that the greatest teacher should receive the greatest lesson, but isn't this against the laws of physics? Isn't it impossible to comprehend logically? Let's consider, who is the one who created and governs the laws of this universe? Of course, it is Allah. Then why wouldn't Allah be able to alter these laws whenever He wills for whomever He wills? If we were to claim that Allah cannot change these laws, wouldn't that imply a deficiency or weakness on His part? God forbid. All matter in the universe, every atom, and the system of laws that govern their functioning are entirely under Allah's control. Think of a computer game. There are specific rules within the game, aren't there? But are these rules binding for the developer of the game? Of course not. The developer can modify or override these rules as they wish because the control rests entirely with them. Similarly, Allah altered the natural laws of the universe for the Prophet ﷺ, enabling him to ascend through the layers of the heavens in an instant. These laws are not constraints on Allah. They are subject to His will. In fact, the concept of a law itself is simply a manifestation of Allah's choices. This is not the first instance where Allah has changed these laws. For instance, He changed the nature of fire for Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam, making it harmless. For Hazrat Yunus alayhi salam, He turned the belly of a whale into a livable space. If Allah made fire and the whale's belly suitable for His beloved prophets, why wouldn't He adjust the Prophet Muhammad's body to traverse the heavens? Currently, Allah sustains our lives with oxygen, water, and other elements. Couldn't He sustain us with entirely different laws if He so willed? For the Prophet, Allah changed these rules, and this is entirely rational and logical. The question of time. At this point, another question often arises. The Miraj involved many events, speaking to several prophets, traveling through 7 heavens, and witnessing paradise and hell. Wouldn't such a journey require a lot of time? How could so much happen in such a short time? The Risale-i-Nur collection provides an excellent analogy to explain this. Imagine a massive clock with different hands, such as the hour hand and the second hand, each moving at different speeds. Now imagine 10 people riding on these hands. Because the hands move at different speeds, each person would experience vastly different journeys within the same time frame. In a 10-minute period, one might experience very little, while another might experience thousands of times more. Applying this logic, Allah altered the flow of time for the Prophet. He placed him in a different dimension of time, allowing him to experience much in a very short span. Don't we already witness the variability of time in our own lives? For instance, in the dream world, what feels like a long period can actually be just a few seconds in real life. Similarly, when we are happy, time flies, but when we are sad, time drags on. A math class might feel unbearably long, while a gym class feels like it's over in the blink of an eye. Time is relative and variable. Therefore, the Prophet witnessing numerous events during the Miraj in such a short time is entirely logical and reasonable. The speed of light and divine power. Consider this. Allah has given light a speed of 300,000 kilometers per second and our planet a speed of 107,000 kilometers per hour in its orbit. Clearly, Allah can make objects move at extraordinary speeds. Why wouldn't He enable His most beloved servant to travel such a vast distance in such a short time? When Allah possesses infinite power, what could possibly be impossible for Him? The Miraj is not only a spiritual event, but also a testament to the boundless might and wisdom of Allah, perfectly aligning with logic and reason. Could Miraj have been just a dream? Now let's address the question, could this event have been merely a dream? From the logical and rational perspective we've explored so far, we can see that the Miraj is entirely possible, both spiritually and physically. So why should we dismiss this as just a dream? If it were merely a dream, why would it have been recorded so magnificently in history? When we look at the Quranic verses and hadiths, it is clear that the Miraj happened with both the soul and the body together. For instance, in the opening of Surah Al-Isra, when describing the beginning of the Miraj event, Allah uses a very significant word, abid, servant. The verse states, "Exalted is he who took his servant Abid by night from Al-Masjid al-Haram to Al-Masjid al-Aqsa, whose surroundings we have blessed to show him of our signs." The word Abid refers to a servant as a complete being, encompassing both body and soul. As we are currently both physically and spiritually whole, we too are Abid in our state. Scholars have deduced from this term that the Isra and Miraj were not merely dreams, but events experienced with both the soul and the body together. It was a real occurrence. Another piece of evidence is the phrase in the verse, "He took him on a journey by night." Walking is a physical act, involving movement of the body. This walking is not a dream or an imaginary journey, but an act carried out with feet, body, and physical presence. Proof from Surah An-Najm. When we look at the first 18 verses of Surah An-Najm, it becomes clear that the Miraj was a physical event. The verse mentions that the Prophet saw Jibril, alayhi salam, near Sidrat al-Muntaha, located next to the Garden of Refuge, Jannat al-Mawa. Sidrat al-Muntaha refers to a tree in the seventh heaven. The verse explicitly states next to the garden, affirming that the Prophet physically ascended to the heavens and saw these places. The verse also mentions the Prophet's physical sight. The sight of the Prophet did not swerve, nor did it exceed its limit. Here, the mention of the eye, an organ of the body, proves that the Miraj involved the Prophet's physical body as well. If the Miraj were merely a dream, why would the polytheists mock it? Why would they ridicule the Prophet over something he simply dreamed? Moreover, why would Hazrat Abu Bakr, radiallahu anhu, earn the title of as-Siddiq, the truthful, for immediately believing in the Miraj? This title would not have been significant if it were only a dream. Authentic reports from the companions. Additionally, the Miraj event was narrated by approximately 20 companions of the Prophet, including the greatest of the companions. Imam Bukhari collected 26 different narrations from 6 companions, while Imam Muslim recorded 16 different narrations from 7 companions. These numerous and authentic narrations strongly affirm that the Miraj was not a dream, but a reality, experienced with both the body and the soul. It was a divine journey that took place in the physical and spiritual realms, firmly grounded in both scripture and tradition. In summary, our Prophet, as the most beloved servant of Allah, witnessed this great event with both his soul and body. Allah granted him beauties that no one else had experienced before, demonstrating his immense value to both the inhabitants of the earth and the heavens. What we must do now is to follow this noble servant, strive to adhere to his sunnah, and firmly embrace the gift of salah that came to us through Miraj. During the 5 daily salah we perform, we reach our closest state to Allah in prostration. Each prostration is like our own Miraj, because salah is the Miraj of the believer. If you have not yet embraced the 5 daily salah, let today be a new beginning for you. Let today be your Miraj. As the team behind this channel, we deeply trust in the words of Bediüzzaman, who said, "Be hopeful, for in the future, the most powerful voice in the world will be the voice of Islam." As we come to the end of this video, please subscribe to our channel and like the video so the message of Islam can reach every corner of the world that remains in darkness. With your help, if you leave a comment, know that we see every one of them and are truly grateful. May Allah be pleased with all of you. In the comments, please share a dua, prayer, so we can read and say Ameen to each one, helping our video reach even more people. See you in the next video. May Allah protect you. Assalamu alaikum.